Hi, this is Attorney Mike Gravlin, and today I'm going to answer one of my most frequently asked questions, and that is, how long will it take for my workers' compensation case to settle? So the first rule, which is obvious and you already know it, but you want to hear it from me, so I'm going to tell it to you. You can't settle your case before you're done treating. You don't know the value of your case, and it's not time. So if you got hurt at work and you filed a workers' compensation claim and you want to know how long it's going to take, I can give you a lower bound for sure, and that is it's not going to be settled before you're done treating. When you get done treating, then your attorney can order the records and start evaluating it for settlement, but that is at a minimum, it's going to take that long. Everybody wants to know how long it will take for their case to settle, no matter what kind of case it is, and that's only natural, that's human nature. I am specifically in this video talking about workers' compensation cases, and more to the point, I'm talking about workers' compensation cases in the state of Illinois. My office is in Chicago. I do cases throughout the state of Illinois, but the principles that I'm going to discuss here apply pretty much throughout the country. There are some statutory variations, but these general guidelines are going to help you no matter where you are. The next big issue in terms of timing is the level of dispute in the case. So if everyone agrees to the facts and say it's an accident that happened at work, it was witnessed by a bunch of people and nobody really disputes what happens, that usually goes faster because you're taking a lot of the issues off the table. The other prime issue that comes up is causation. So if there's any doubt as to whether or not the injury that you're treating for is related to work or not, that will usually extend the time period. But if those things are pretty clean, then you know it shouldn't take too long after you get finished treating. Another huge factor is whether or not you're represented. If you're represented, then a lot of issues are getting cleaned up along the way, including medical bills, TTD, which is payment for your time lost, and they don't have to be all figured out at the end of the case. If you're trying to do this yourself, that will usually delay things because you don't know all the little potential pitfalls and delays that can come up, and your attorney would and can help you sidestep those and just make things go faster, clean up the bills, get the information, get the subpoenas out so they get complete records, all those sorts of things that will help a case finish faster. So when people are really asking how long is my case going to take, they kind of know everything I just said, but like I said, I'm going to tell you anyway because you want to hear it from somebody who does it. But I really think the implicit question is, what can I do to help? And what you can do to help is get represented and listen to your attorney, listen to your doctors, and comply. Again, you know that, but those are the things that are going to help get you to resolution the fastest. Along those same lines, it makes a big difference whether or not you're compliant with treatment. So if you, for instance, are hurt, but don't follow through on what the doctor is recommending for you, and then you may create, first of all, just delays in the completion of your treatment, and also you may create issues that the respondent will bring up, which will also delay the case and slow the process of settlement down. Finally, there are cases that are just too contentious or factually just too much to argue about to actually settle it all. And in that circumstance, you're going to end up at a hearing, and that will probably take a while because in order to get in front of a judge, that if you're going to hearing, it's going to take at least a year, 18 months to get a decision at the absolute earliest. It usually takes a little bit longer than that. And if you have, and that hearing could just be a 19B, or it could be a hearing on the whole case. I've had cases settle in 60 days. I've had cases kick around and go up on appeal and hang around for almost a decade. And in all events, I was trying to move them as quickly as possible, but I was constrained by the facts or the level of dispute or the court schedule. So that's why people can't just really tell you. On the other hand, if you want to get an estimate or something, call an attorney, a workers' compensation attorney, namely your attorney if you have one. If you don't have one, call one and get one. because you'll get an estimate on the time, but better than that, you'll get advice on how to move it along and make things go faster and better. Understand there was a general response, but of course I don't have a specific set of facts in front of me. I can go hypothetical all day long. If your case involves a shoulder surgery and a revision, it's going to take a few years. If your case involves a resolved strain, it can be settled in a couple of months. Just to give you two examples, or anything in between. The other thing that could really make it long is if you're unable to return to work and then you get into what's called a wage differential, at least in the state of Illinois, or a permanent total scenario. That usually takes longer. It's just more complicated, and we have to get to the end of treatment, be released at MMI with permanent restrictions, and that sort of thing usually takes a while. I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions, like I said, please call your attorney or call an attorney and ask. Obviously, in order to give a more specific answer, an attorney needs to review the facts before you, and then they can give you a better idea in terms of the length of time that might be required to handle your case. If you like that, please hit like and subscribe and tell your friends.